Hi folks. You're watching SCENTTEST. Today we're going to recap a 2019 horror action thriller film called The Furies. The film begins with a man in a mask holding a scythe chasing a panicked woman in a somber forest. The woman stumbles as her leg hit the broken tree branch. The terrified girl shivers while the masked man approaches slowly. However, enter another maniac in a weirdo Cupid mask. There, second psycho butchers the first and throws the woman over his shoulder and stalks off for parts unknown. The actual opening introduces Kayla and her friend Maddie. The two talked about their fears until they argued about she's been babysitting Kayla since childhood and it's high time Kayla stop using her epilepsy as an excuse for self-pitying fragility. Kayla cries and heads home. Meanwhile, Maddie is captured by a masked man. She starts screaming for help but Kayla isn't able to find her. In the next scene, Kayla is trapped in the box in some sort of a noisy siren. Kayla somehow manages to pull herself out of the box. She searches for Maddie walking all alone in the jungle while looking for her. Kayla finds a corpse. She panicked and starts screaming looking for help. Suddenly, two other girls grabbed her from behind. The girl introduced themselves as Alice and Sheena. In a state of stress and fear, Kayla runs off and goes back to the place where she had been trapped and starts searching for her things, but there's nothing there except for the box itself. She sits on the mud and a few minutes later she passes out. Once she awakens she starts talking about her illness, epilepsy, and starts looking for her pills. Meanwhile, the masked man carrying a giant axe is seen walking towards them. Alice and Kayla decides to stick together and begin to follow Sheena's tracks. While trying to look for a way out of that hellhole, they come across another box, the same as theirs. Every box has a label on it. The label on this box says Beast 6. On their left side, they discover their masked man holding the axe tightly in both his hands. For a moment Alice and Kayla freeze. They slowly move behind the box to hide. The masked man begins walking towards them. Alice and Kayla can hear his heavy footsteps. Just in time, Alice throws a tree branch towards him. Kayla starts having a seizure which terrifies Alice. After this, Kayla goes unconscious again. Alice leaves Kayla there and tries to save herself. She starts running as fast as she can as the masked man chases her. Suddenly, the masked man throws his axe at her but he misses, and the axe hits a tree in front of her. Alice tries to take the axe to defend herself but the masked man strikes her in the face with his axe and peels off her skin, killing her on the spot. Kayla opens her eyes and rushes to find Alice but she discovers her corpse instead. She then starts trying to find a way out. All she sees barren land with the scorching heat of the sun. She walks and runs but the land is never ending. All of a sudden, she hears a similar siren from somewhere ahead. The siren starts to make her mad. She hears the scream of another girl who's being chased by the same masked man. As she begs for help the masked man throws his axe at her, which hits her right in the back. The man then pulls his axe from her back. Kayla tries to stop him from killing her but surprisingly he waves at Kayla. Suddenly, another masked man appears and starts to barbarically fight the first one. Kayla sees the opportunity to save the girl. She gently helps her up. During this time the second masked man kills the first. Kayla hides the other girl in an open tree wrap and covers it with dry grass. She tells her to stay under cover while she gets some help. However, her blood drops lead the masked man towards her and he drags her away. As Kayla desperately running around in the jungle looking for help, the masked man drags the girl to a tree and drops her. He then forcefully ties both her hands around the tree until her arms break off. Kayla runs into the other man with a sheet mask. She fights him back bravely but he blows his face off. She runs back for the girl but only finds her mutilated corpse. Kayla realizes she's on her own now. She continues to walk holding the axe in her hands. She comes across a place with some old abandoned houses. She enters one of them and finds dangerous weapons inside. She feels a presence around her and impulsively attacks. However, it is revealed that she accidentally killed a harmless girl. Subsequently Sheena enters the house with a girl named Rose. Kayla tries to explain that what happened was not her fault, it was an accident. Sheena nears Kayla, takes the out of her hands and asks Rose to stay there as she leaves the house. Kayla develops another epilepsy attack. Kayla dreams about Maddie, while she's unconscious. When she opens up her eyes she finds Rose beside her. Rose is scared and upset since she's feeling like she's left all alone. Kayla tells Rose that she's not alone and shares her dream about Maddie with her. Rose interrupts Kayla and tells her about a dream which was quite similar to Kayla's. Kayla pieces together that they're part of some dangerous game. She comes to their conclusion that someone has planned all this. She stands up and extracts the left eye of the girl she accidentally killed. What she sees is quite fascinating. The eye is covered with electric wires. She holds Rose tightly and stares straight into her eyes. She says that being monitored. Rose, however, thinks Kayla has gone insane. A terrified Sheena rushes into the house and closes the door. Rose boosts up with hope as she sees Sheena. Sheena sees the eye on the floor, which Kayla had taken out from her friend's body, and freaks out. She starts screaming at Kayla, who tries to tell her that they're being watched by some people. She tries to explain to her the whole idea regarding the game and shows her the wired eye. Sheena thus also realizes what it's all about. Meanwhile, the masked man comes near the house and moved in their direction. The three hide as fast as they can. The man scratches the walls with a knife while walking. The terrified girls watch from their places of hiding as the man enters the house. He slowly searches the place. Rose panics. The man discovers her and brutally drags her away by her hair. Kayla screams and calls to Sheena. Kayla attacks the man fearlessly, with a thick wooden stick, while Sheena throws an axe at him. The man pulls himself together and fights back. Both Kayla and Sheena fight him together. Quite shockingly, the man runs away. Sheena starts wondering why he left. Kayla tells her about the sheep-masked man who blew himself off. They all realize that a girl can only be saved with her protector. Each player has a masked man as her protector, and only one girl will win along with her protector. As everything seems to be clear now, Sheena narcissistically stares at Kayla and Rose. Kayla realizes Sheena's intentions. She holds Rose's hand and makes her way out to another house. Rose seems to be scared while Kayla takes an oath and promises she won't harm her. Kayla tells Rose that Sheena wants to kill them as it's a lot easier for her to kill both of them rather than their protector. Kayla and Rose decide to each other. Kayla hits the lower side of the wooden walls for a way out. She crawls her way out of it. Rose tries to apply the same strategy as Kayla's. Kayla holds an axe and moves forward. Rose gets stuck between some wires. She calls out for Kayla's help, but two masked men starts chasing them. The man arrives by the door and grabs Rose's legs. On the other side, Kayla trying to pull Rose out to her. Kayla tries to switch her side and enters the room from the front. She attacks the man furiously with an axe, but the man pushes her to the floor. Meanwhile, Rose attacks him from behind. Both Kayla and Rose fight off the beast and decapitate him just in time. It is revealed that the other masked man is watching this whole scene. He arrives after watching Kayla go wild and screams in anger. Kayla and Rose sees Sheena through the window, who's passing by the house while holding an axe. Kayla also starts following her steadily. It is revealed that Sheena wants to kill everyone to save herself. Sheena tries to kill Maddie, but Kayla stops her from behind. She tries to tell her that she'll be needing backup and cover Sheena, however it turns out to be greedy. She knows that they're playing by the rule kill or being killed. Kayla's protector arrived and throws his axe straight at Sheena's head, instantly killing her. Meanwhile, Rose is captured by Sheena's protector. Rose calls out to Kayla for help. Kayla talks to her protector but eventually stabs him right through his heart with an axe to save her friends. Rose is held by her neck. She tries to fight back, but the man stabs her in the hand. However, Rose doesn't give up this time. She pulls the knife from her hand and attacks him. After this, she goes to Kayla. Kayla and Rose decide to look for Maddie. Kayla holds Rose's hands and writes something on it. Just then another masked man starts following them. Kayla desperately looks for Maddie and luckily finds her under an old hut. For a moment Kayla thinks that they made it and they're safe now. But Rose is offended after seeing them together. She starts talking nonsense, claiming that Kayla is selfish and she killed all the other girls just to save Maddie's life. Subsequently another masked man showed up. Maddie's protector arrives with the same giant axe. Kayla stands up for everyone, but unfortunately has a seizure. Rose is aware of the fact that the man is Maddie's protector. Thus, piecing together that if she kills Maddie, she and Kayla will survive. Kayla opens up her eyes to find Maddie's corpse by her side and screams at Rose for killing Maddie. Rose responds by saying that she was only saving Kayla. Rose leaves Kayla there and decided to proceed on her own. Kayla with a heavy heart stands up and walks by their side of trees. Kayla forcefully gouges one of her eyes. She breaks the siren which makes everyone believe that she died somewhere alone in the jungle. This whole framed act makes Rose the winner, thus Rose survives. Later, a man on a chair is seen watching this recorded game. The video gets stuck somewhere in the middle which infuriates him. He makes a call using his phone. Kayla emerges from there, back wearing sunglasses. She ties the man to his chair and starts interrogating her. The man claims that he doesn't know anything about the game. Kayla demands to know where he got the recording from. He tells her that he was trying to contact someone called Mike William. He received all the recordings from him. He says Kayla sees Maddie's ghost and communicates with her. She then pulls a knife from her bag and kills the man, slowly torturously. With this, the movie ends. Thank you for watching, see you next time.